2, 1. All right, how's everybody doing today? Everybody doing good?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to see the lead up to the American Revolution. All right, the first thing that we're going to look at is the mindset. All right, we're going to look at the mindset, the whole mindset that started the revolution. Has anybody ever heard of the Enlightenment? Don't answer that. Don't even touch this yet. That paper I handed you, don't even touch it yet. All right, that'll be at the end. So the Enlightenment, has anybody ever heard of the Enlightenment before?
No.
So if somebody's enlightened, what do you think that means?
Oh, like inspired?
No, they're
Inspired? You said what?
Like they're giving information.
All right, they give you information. So what do they have in their brains? They have knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So knowledge. All right, that's a big thing with this. So it's a mindset, all right, that caused the American Revolution. But the big thing on this is people have knowledge. Bless you. So big thing on the Enlightenment. What they ended up doing with this. So I guess a modern day sense, you could look at anybody ever heard of being woke? All right, so when you're woke, what do? Well, you challenge things, right? All right, you pay attention to things going on. You want to change things. You're like, man, I don't agree with that. This is why, boom, 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 because I have all this information. So the Enlightenment and being woke is kind of the same thing in a sense. So the whole Enlightenment got brought up by a guy by the name of John Locke. All right, so we talked about the Magna Carta. It limits the power of the monarchies and the king. So big thing on this. All right, John Locke came up with this concept, and it's based more on the individual. All right, in a sense, what he came up with is life, liberty, and property. How's the, you remember we talked about the English hierarchy, how their society was set up? So who's at the bottom of the hierarchy triangle? Slaves, peasants. All right, who's in the middle?
Farmers.
All right, so the farmers, the landowners, the nobles. Who's at the top of a monarchy?
Kings, priests.
Yes, kings. So, big thing on this. He's from England. They start changing their mindset on things. One of the big things that everybody used to kind of revolve their world around the king. John Locke came with the mindset, hey, let's base this on the individual. We're the ones with the power. We're the smart ones. We can control our own lives. So John Locke came up with the basic rights concept. So all of you in America have your own basic rights. So life, what does that mean? If you have the basic right of life, what does that mean?
I want to say like guarantee, but I don't know how to explain it.
So with your life, you wake up every day and you make a choice, right?
Yeah.
Am I going to go to school? Am I going to do this homework? Am I going to eat breakfast? You have all these choices to make where you can control your life in a whole sense, right? So if I woke up every day and I went over to you and I said, you can't eat breakfast, you can't do this, you can't do this, I'm controlling your life, right? So you're not freedom. You don't have freedom, correct? You don't have the basic rights as a human being. We're all entitled to life. We're all entitled to live whatever type of world we want to live in. Does that make sense? So you have that in America today, right? If you want to go be a freaking doctor, you want to be a janitor, you want to start your own business, you have the opportunity to do those things. Everybody get on that. Basic rights as a human being. Liberty. What's a liberty? What's a liberty that we have as an American in modern day society? All right, freedom of speech. Yes, that's a liberty that you have. You can go and you can speak out against the government, whoever you want, just as long as it's not in a violent manner. All right, what's another liberty that we have as Americans?
Voting?
Yeah, those are liberties.
Wait, whatever he just said.
What'd you say?
I said, it was. I can't say it right now. I can't say it right now. I don't know why.
What's the liberty that you have?
The right to bear arms.
All right, right to bear arms. Boom, there you go. Anything else?
What you say?
All right, right to
Voting, I
remain
could
silent,
say
the
it.
Fifth Amendment. I plead the Fifth. All right? So, those are liberties that you all have. So, if in American society, if we didn't have those liberties, we would be oppressed, correct? Yes. But we have these liberties, we have these basic human rights that we're entitled to. Right? When you think we're all entitled to have freedom of speech, yes. Right to bear arms, yes. All those different things that, right to defend yourself, pleading the Fifth, not speaking against yourself to make yourself guilty.
Wait, if
All right.
it's the right defend yourself, why is it assault?
You gotta look at the whole case. You gotta look at if you're in the rights of self-defense. Like if I come over and then if you come back and you defend yourself, you're in the right. But you gotta look at just kind of case to case. Property. So what's property?
Your house.
So your house. What else? What else can you own? Land, cars, anything, right?
Boat.
You can own your own business, boats, anything you want. So if I'm sitting here, give me that. That's mine. Bless you. That's mine. That's my pencil. All right. Did I just take your basic right away because I took your property away from you? Yes. Bless you. So in old time monarchies, what they would do is they would take the people's property. So you're entitled to this pencil. You spent this money on it. You own it, correct? Yes. I can't tell you what to do with it. I can't take it from you. This is your property. If I take this away from you, I'm taking your right away. Does that make sense? You're all entitled to property as individuals, especially in America. So does this make sense? All right. So they created this mindset: life, liberty, and property, the basic rights as human beings. This leads into the American Revolution, and we'll get into all that. So, big thing that you want to take away from the Enlightenment. Rejection.
Ooh,
You're rejected. Social,
I've never dealt with that.
religious,
Oh,
all right. So, the Enlightenment, the big thing on this, they started rejecting social. Social, what are some things that are involved in you being social? What do we have as people? You have to follow the rules, right? You have
Laws.
to follow norms. All right, so you have to follow norms. What's a norm that you will have to follow in school?
Be respectful.
Yes, be respectful.
And
Respect others' properties. What did you say?
No cussing.
Yes, no cussing. You can't go out in the hallway and go, yada, yada, yada. I can't do that. You can't do that. That's a norm. You can't do that anywhere. All right, so you
It's
have to
against the
follow
law.
the way social people are supposed to act in America. All right, so they rejected the social norms of the British hierarchy of the Enlightenment, the way Europe worked. Next thing, religion. All right, in England and Europe, they used religion as a tactic to basically get people to follow. So if I go over to Chris and I'm like, hey, if you pray to God every day, you trust the church, you go to church every day, and you trust the King along with God and the church, all right, you'll go to heaven. So what do? Give me 1 second. Bless you. So people realize they're like, oh, okay, well, I'll go and I'll make it to heaven if I'm good. So this was a way of an impression that the kings and the monarchies used in Europe to get people to act correctly. What was your question? Yes, I just gave an example.
What
So,
happened? So what happened if we didn't like Leslie?
usually a lot of the things they would use tactics like hanging or prison or time or anything like that. So, the people in the Enlightenment, they rejected religious followings. All right, who did they start believing in? Who do we start believing in more today?
Jesus.
Other than God? No? Not even religion in general. Bless you. No? Who do we believe in now?
Ourselves.
That can do things and make, yes, ourselves. So, they started believing in the individual, all right, instead of religion. All right, when you say we still do that today, there's more atheist people more than there's ever been. because people, this concept took, bless you.
Wait, why did you write one?
Just an example of how they challenge social, we'll get into that later. So, they challenge religion, they change their lives, they believe in the individual self. All right, last thing, politics. What did, they switched from a monarchy with a king to what? What type of government? Representative what? Starts with, yes, democracy. So you can go and you can cast your vote, boom, you vote that person into office, they represent you. With a king, you can't do that. How's royalty get power? Not represent themselves, but what'd you say? Bloodline, yes. All right. So they challenged that and they came up with a democracy. Is everybody good on that?
Yes.
All right, sweet. So the whole mindset that started the revolution, this is it. Started revolution, the American Revolution. Everybody good on that? Everybody good? All right. So, next thing we're gonna look at. Hey, tilt that thing a little bit. All right. I just forgot to go get the holder up there. So, next thing we're going to look at, we're going to do the movement, and then we'll come back in here and we'll do your assignment working with this. So, we're going to look at a revolution. All right, so radical. All right, so radical. There's a revolution. What happens? Things change, right? All right, so things change. So what do you think I mean by radical? What does radical mean? All right, so it's crazy. Yo, Garrett, you're a radical for doing that. You're extreme. You're doing something over the top, and you're going way over the top of where you're supposed to be. So usually with change in society, we make little changes. We don't really see a big change in that. So radical change. All right, so radical change in established order. So what's an established order in society? Talk to me first, and then we'll write these down. You don't have to write down anything yet. I just want y'all to have a discussion with me. All right? Because they'll be up there. They're not going anywhere. So radical change in established order. What's an order that we have in modern day society? Who gives us order?
President.
All right, so the president, the government, right? That's an order that we have in society. Where are we at right now? Not West Virginia.
Mayor.
But where are we at right now?
United States.
No, I mean like
Oh,
place.
classroom.
Yeah, classroom. What is that in? It's in
School.
It's at a school, right?